What an interesting and historic time we are all living in. A lot of unknown right now, and we continue to be inundated with information. What do we believe? What do we listen to? Sometimes it can be very confusing and at times frustrating. And we want to just make sure that you all understand we are all in this together. So to bring a little bit of clarity here at Utah Cribs, Jake and I wanted to make sure that we bring you the hard facts and statistics devoid of any sales pressure and alternative motives. Jake and I have been selling real estate for almost 20 years. We have lived and worked through some very uncertain times. We remember 2008, 2009, and now we're dealing with this crazy COVID thing. What do we need to believe? Well, this is going to go down in history books, and we wanted to make sure that we bring you some real hard facts that you and your family can listen to and know that that is what's really going on in our market, on real estate and on the stock side. So let's talk hard facts. And Jake's going to bring that to you right now.
Hey guys, thanks for that, Spence. You know, there's been a lot of speculation, and you know how data works. You have to compile enough data to start being able to predict and have trends. And when COVID first hit, there were articles and headlines that said the real estate market is going to crash 50, 60%. There were articles the same day saying the market isn't going to be affected at all. We are now long enough into this that we can go over some cold, hard facts and data. And every market is different, but you might find the Wasatch Front market and Utah statistics to be a little bit better than expected. On Tuesday this week, I was training the agents on the Wasatch Front at Berkshire Hathaway and went over this information, which is brand new this week. And we've worked with the MLS system to provide some easy to understand charts, graphs, and specifics. And then later that afternoon, I was with all the agents in Summit County, of course, virtually, and staying safe with social distancing and going over this same information. So I'm going to share some of that with you. Let me share my screen here. And hopefully you find it as interesting as we do. This is the first piece of information that I find extremely interesting. We are now able, because most people schedule showings virtually through the MLS system to see houses these days, we're able with this third-party software just in the last 30 days to break down showings that are being scheduled in Utah for buyers to see houses, okay? And the blue line is 2019, and the orange line is 2020. As could be expected, look at the lines and how they disperse. On March 11th, right before things got bad, we were showing as many properties in 2020 as we were in 2019. And then showings really dropped off. And they got to a point where we were showing about 50% less property as a body of realtors on the Wasatch Front than we did the same day last year. However, pan over to recent. And as of about the second week in April, we're now a good 10 days into this, look at the orange line and how much that has really upticked. I'm going to give you a little annotation here so everybody can see specifically what I'm looking at. But as you can see right here, showings, people going out and viewing properties, staying safe, but still doing so, has skyrocketed, okay? So that is perhaps the first leading indicator. People are still seeing real estate. All right, what's next? I'll try to make this rather brief so you're not having to watch a long video, but if you want access to any of these charts, graphs, or information or have questions, just reach out to us, no strings attached. We are happy to share and provide. All right, on to my next screen here. If showings is one indicator, what might be other indicators? Right here, you're looking at a daily snapshot. MLS-wide, this is the entire state of Utah, all properties for sale on utahrealestate.com, which does incorporate about 87 to 92% of all homes for sale. The only thing that wouldn't be considered here is if, for example, in Park City, they list on the Park City MLS and don't actually put on Utah Real Estate, or if someone sticks a for sale by owner sign in the yard. So I trust this data. it's most of the homes for sale in our state. The orange line is 2019, the blue line is 2020, and it shows you on a daily basis how many homes are for sale. As you can see, even though in crisis times, a lot of people, or the thought is people list their properties or they're in a troubled financial situation and they want to hurry and sell. That's not the case. Look, in 2019, we had low inventory, and now here in 2020, we have even lower inventory, okay? You can also see this here county-wide. So if you want to check out specifics to Salt Lake, you can look right here. I'll give you another arrow so you can see where I'm looking. This is a daily snapshot in Salt Lake County over the last 7 days, comparing 2019, how many homes were for sale in the county, to 2020. Look, just as of today, last year on this day, there was 2,217 homes for sale in Salt Lake, and today there's 2,081. So first data point, we are not seeing an extreme uptick in homes for sale, and we still have extremely low inventory in Salt Lake, okay? What's some other factors that we might need to look at to kind of understand the health of the market? Well, if that's inventory, okay, let's look at perhaps what I find the most interesting and the most telling story. Despite what you might think, this is showing you a daily snapshot of under contracts. Again, orange line 2019, blue line 2020. And it shows you every day how many properties are under contract. I have heard local folks say things like, oh, I'll bet nobody's buying real estate. Everyone's quarantined at home. The opposite is quite true. Again, 2019, orange, blue, 2020. And look, even over the last few days, yes, we're contracting a few less properties than the same time last year. But again, guys, this is statewide. And as of yesterday, same day last year, there was 7,422 homes under contract. Yesterday, there was 7,130. Only less than 300 homes. And if you calculate it as a percentage, what is it telling you? Even during the stay-at-home order, we've only been contracting about 2 to 3% less homes than the same time last year in an extremely robust market. One agent yesterday, when I was going over this for Park City, said, yeah, but luxury's in the toilet. To the contrary, I looked March 20th to April 14th, 2019, we contracted 15 homes over $1 million in Salt Lake. Same time frame, just this past few weeks, we contracted 14 over $1 million. So people are still looking at real estate. Inventory is still very low. And if you want to see that Salt Lake County specific, there's the numbers for you, okay? Here's the last kind of factor you would want to consider if you're wondering if we're going to have a bubble burst or the floor drop out of the market. And that would be people who were either putting their homes up for sale or put them up for sale right when this all hit, and then decided to pull their homes off the market, insinuating that when the pandemic is somewhat under control, we'll have a rush of a lot of new listings. Once again, the facts might surprise you. Orange line 2019, purple line 2020, these are homes being pulled off the market. As you can see, mid-March, yes, some people started pulling them off. That peaked end of March and has continued to be a few more this year than last. But statewide, again, that number is only a couple hundred homes. Okay, and if you want to see county specific, again, here is Salt Lake. For example, yesterday, last year, 444 homes came off the market or had been pulled off. And this year, 559. Again, not a drastic difference. And the very last number you may want to consider when you're analyzing the health of the market is, well, are people canceling left and right? They contracted a property, they lost their job, they're nervous, and so they've backed out. Once again, to the contrary. In fact, I like looking at it at a monthly snapshot. And if you look at March, in March of this year, we closed 3,593 homes statewide. March last year, 3,604. Now, again, you might say to that data, yeah, but that was March, just wait for April. But an indicator of closings is what's gone into escrow and under contract. And like I just showed you, we're only down about 2 to 3% of last year. So let's summarize all of this data, because a lot of data can be overwhelming. Let's give you our take, Spencer and I's take. We know times are sensitive. We know people are struggling. We know that the lending world is going to have some long-term problems, even when the pandemic has peaked and we're getting relatively under control and getting back to some normalcy. Yes, there will be long-term ramifications. We don't want to paint a picture that it's all rosy. But at this point, I feel rather safe telling you those ramifications will be under certain subsectors of real estate. What do I mean? Class A office will likely struggle because a lot of people have gotten used to working from home, and businesses will probably take advantage of that. Number two, we will likely see some struggles amongst second home vacation properties and luxury, okay? Yes, that market's soft. People are second guessing those types of purchases. But I think, as you could see in the data we just went over, when you're talking about primary residence properties in populated areas, especially Wasatch Front, where the market's been extremely robust, so far the fundamentals of the market are not changed. And they're far better than expected. And if you talk to some of our local economic experts, they're even saying that Salt Lake will likely fare amongst the absolute best on the rebound. And by the end of the year, we could likely see unit sales exactly on pace of 2019, which was a robust year. And on median price, we likely won't even lose any value. So hopefully that brings you some comfort. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Thanks for tuning in. You know our slogan here at Utah Cribs. We educate you so you can make an educated decision when it comes to your real estate.